And Lynn graduated that year. This is a picture of Lynn in the kitchen and her graduation year. Another picture of her graduation day, taken in the front room, in her cap and gown. In the church parking lot, the church lawn, Lynn and her grandmother Fish, Ruth Fish. Lynn and her grandmother, Ruth Fish, on her graduation day. Of Lynn receiving her diploma, and it so happened that Jay Maslin, her uncle, was the president of the school board and was the one to hand her her diploma. This is Lynn receiving her diploma on graduation day. Rather dark, but this is Lynn with Helen and I the day she graduated. We fixed up the basement as years went on before Lynn left. And this is a picture of Lynn's crew sitting down in the basement. Of course, you got Lynn, Patty Boardman, Jeannie Partington, and Christine Kroll. And of course, Paul is there. The only one missing is Mary Record. How she didn't happen to be there, I'll never know. But this is that crew of Lynn, Patty Boardman, Jeannie, Christine Kroll, and of course, Paul was there. But that's the crew in the basement of the bay of our house here. Picture of the crew. We managed to get Paul out of it. So Lynn, Patty, Jeannie, and Christine. The four of them. Same year. You see, Lynn's got the same sweater on. Bill, Lynn, and Paul. And this, of course, it's Christmas time with a big Christmas tree in the bay window. Because I really didn't need to. This is Paul and his bicycle, standing next to Renault. Now, how we happened to buy the Renault is, Lynn had taken her driver's test, I think twice, failed it twice. So the only way we could really get her to pass her driver's test was to buy a car so small that it didn't even take up half a parking place. That is a Renault Dauphine. Of course, now they call them Renault or something, but in those days, it was a Renault Dauphine. And of course, next to it was Paul and his bicycle. But that's how we happened to buy the car, in order for Lynn to get a driver's license. This is Bill and his mother in front of this famous car. On the deck after she come out of the pool with the towels and everything draped over everything sits Miss Ettinger. So that's Lenny. Her hair is a mess and she can do nothing with it. This is Lynn next to the car we had to come up with in order for her to be able to get a driver's license. I don't know about that kid. That's Lynn standing in the driveway next to the Dauphine. Lynne's wedding. This, oh, her mother always laughed about this. Lynne's all dressed up, getting ready for the wedding. What does she do? We walk in the front room, she's sitting there watching cartoons. Well, Helen always got a kick out of that one. This house originally, when she looked at this stairway, she said, I could just picture my daughter coming down this stairway in her wedding dress. And so here is Lynne on the stairway her mother bought, so she could see her coming down it on her wedding day. This is Lynne Elizabeth Ettinger. In a couple hours to become Lynne Elizabeth Cynic. This was their last day as an Ettinger. And coming down the circular stairway in the front hall. We're in an album, so I'm showing them. And that's Lynne. We're over in the church. That's Lynne. And in the background, which I don't show up, is me. But this is Lynne. This is a picture of Lynne and Frank. At that time, Mr. and Mrs. Cynic. On their wedding day, as they were coming down the aisle. Lynne and Frank. This is a picture of the wedding party. Of course, on the left is Bob Schultz. In the background is Frank's uncle. I'm not sure which one. And of course, Frank, Lynne, and Jeannie Partington, and Bill. This is a wedding party. Lynne and Frank, and now this is the picture of the three Ettingers just before the morning that Lynne got married. This was the last time the three of them were all single in the corner of the front room. Paul, Lynne, and Bill. No, I'm going to complete the slides I have in the projector. It'll mix up the rest of the film, but we can go back. So we'll progress. Beth was born, Beth Ann Cynic was born, and this is Lynne in our front living room. Of course, giving a bottle to little Beth. So that is Lynne and Beth. There's another picture of Lynne and Beth. And of course, here it is taken down to the farm, taken outside the house she now lives in. That's Lynne and baby Beth. A picture of Bessie, a little bigger. Standing on my kitchen table, in my kitchen. Lynne and Beth. This is a picture of Beth. She's walking now. This is taken up to the farm. This is taken up to Grandma Fish's. I think it's at Christmas time. Little Beth Ann. That's Bessie. Another one of the Musketeers got married. Jeannie. This is a picture of Lynne, Jeannie, and Jeannie's older sister Roberta and Christine. On Jeannie's wedding day. I knew the girls would have to be in it and be there. That's Lynn, Jeannie, Jeannie's sister Roberta, and Christine. On Jeannie's wedding day. Life are not bad times. There's some good and there's some bad. And this is a picture, I guess they're getting ready to go to a Halloween party. This is Frank and Lynn dressed up on their way to the party. Frank and Lynn, I think they're going to a Legion party. They're going to a Halloween party. Now this is a picture of Beth and Chris at Betty Joe and Bill's wedding. That's Beth and little Christopher. At Bill and Betty Joe's wedding. Not sure when this was taken. This is Lynn at my back door, which of course has been changed since then quite a bit. This is a picture taken at Christmas time. Of course, in my living room, in front of the mantle of Lynn and Frank. I should know what Christmas is and I forgot. Now this is another picture probably taken at Christmas time or at some occasion that when times were better and things were running smoother. And of course we have Beth, Lynn, Frank, and Christopher down front. This was the Sinek family. Picture taken over to church. I wouldn't be surprised it's Christopher's first communion. And this is Frank's mother and father with Christopher. It's the only picture I have of them. So I thought we'd better throw it in and show it. In other words, that's Christopher's grandmother and grandfather, Sinek, on his first communion day. Now, it looks like it must have been Christopher's party of some kind. Maybe it was his birthday, I'm not sure. But here he is sitting in the kitchen, sitting in their kitchen. That's Christopher Sinek. And he isn't too old. You're taking a someone's shower. And from right to left is Karen Whedon, or Karen Schultz she was, and then Lynn, and then Betty Joe, and Amy Laurie, Clara Farrell's mother. Now this is in Lynn's kitchen, which she has done over, with a glass sliding door in the back, tree in the background, the shelf decorated, and a table set up for Christmas. And of course, Sitting over in front of the glass sliding doors is yours truly. And then Bill and Lynn. In Lynn's kitchen. Oh, I didn't I didn't bother to stop and turn the camera on and off. But this is a picture of Christopher. And I thought it was very nice of him, nice of me to show this picture of him. This is Christopher at his best. This is why all the girls call about him when he's home. He has such a pleasant little rump there, hasn't he? These are the remaining 3 members of the Cynic family, taken in my front room, or between the front rooms, Lynn, Beth, and Christopher. And of course, that's Christmas again. That's the 3 Cynics. Now the same Christmas time, I guess, we have a picture here at the dining room table of Lynn, Beth, and Betty Jo. Lynn, Beth, and Betty Jo. Now we come to, I got off the slides, I'm back onto regular pictures. And I just couldn't mix them in very well. And this is a picture, show you how old it is. Paul was real small. He still had his curls. And this is in the back side of the house, next to the back steps. Of course, his Bill up on the left, and then Lynn and Paul. Paul and his curls. There's Lynn and Paul with Ice's house in the background, and as Paul has lost his curly hair. They're the 3 Musketeers. Lynn, Paul, and Bill. All sitting, resting someplace. Now this is a picture taken in my backyard at some kind of a party. I think it was a party for Lynn. Now I'll open it up wide and see if I can pick out. Down here on the ground, starting up from the ground on the left, is Bobby Igley. The next one, I'm not positive of. Then comes up, going up the line, comes Jeannie Partington. Then comes Lynn. And then come Patty Rubens, who was living out to Fishes at that time, out with Ruth and Lynn. And then next to her on her right is Karen Schultz. Now down on the ground and right in front of Karen is Patty Boardman. And the next 2 I'm not sure of, but that's Bill up on the right. I should ask, but I don't know exactly who they are. In other words, that's young Bobby Igley. That girl there, those 2, I'm not positive of. But those up in the top there is Jeannie Partington, Lynn, Patty Rubens, and Karen Schultz. And down here, she hasn't changed an awful lot, is Patty Boardman. And then of course up there is Bill. And I'm not sure who these other girls are. It's too bad I didn't know so I can say, but I don't know. You're taking a group of the kids, and I know from the left is Bill, and then is Paul in the front, and then back behind that should be, I think, Kippy Hayward, and that's Lynne standing up, and down in the front, I think is one of Paul Huxley's daughters. I'm not sure which one, and I'm not sure who the other boy is in the picture. Here, of course, is the winter scene, and let's start up on the right. That's Tom Partington, and then down next to him, below him, is Christine Kroll, and then comes Paul, and behind Paul, of course, is Lynne. And I think the one down just to the right of Lynne, I think is Jimmy Volpe. But I'm not positive, but I think that's who it is, and I'm not sure who that one is back up in there. But it's a winter scene. As you can see, Lynne and Paul, that's Jimmy Volpe, Christine, Tom Partington, and this one here, up there, I don't know. This picture got wrinkled quite a bit, but I did find it. And of course, the three main musketeers there, Jeannie Partington, Lynne, and Christine Kroll. And I think this fellow over here, I'm not sure who he is. The girls would know, so it doesn't matter. I think it said Delgado, but I'm not sure who. So I'll concentrate on the three girls, as you see here. Jeannie, Lynne, and Christine. Picture, Helen and I, Bill and Lynne, on an Easter Sunday. That's the four of us before Paul was around. And an Easter Sunday. Of course, taken on the side yard towards Vienna's. You can see up back in the back where there used to be the jungle. More pictures here of the little one here. Lynne in her heyday. Of course, the back of the house there was no swimming pool or deck or anything there then. Anyway, picture of Lynne in the front of the house. I wouldn't guess at her age. That's Lynne in front of the house. Picture of Lynne, just a plain picture taken. I'm not sure when or where, what for. Picture of Lynne Cynic. Lynne Elizabeth Ettinger Cynic. You can get a pretty good close on this one. That's Lynne. Very nice picture of her. Picture of Lynne and Karen Schultz. She's now Karen Whedon. It's up on Honeoye Lake. We were there for a week once in the summer. We rented Records Cottage. And that's the two of them up there on a nice day out on the bottom of a sailboat at Honeoye Lake. Lynne and Karen. Picture of Honey Banana, we call her. And this is my backyard. before my shop was on the barn, and Helen always grew flowers, and she had the wagon out there. She was very beautiful. She could make the yard very beautiful, and this is the deck on the side of the house where the enclosed porch is now. This is Honey Vienna. Honey was quite a character. A lot of good laughs with Honey Vienna. And she was a nice lady. There wasn't much she wouldn't do for you. You laugh about her. On top of this, where there's a roof above where she's standing now. And Lynn and Miss Partington used to go out there and smoke cigarettes so nobody knew they were smoking. And Honey would look up and say to Jackie Lou, her granddaughter, those poor girls up there are out of cigarettes, and she'd have Jackie Lou go over and throw them up some cigarettes so they could smoke them. That was Honey Banana. God, we used to. I'd slept in the front room. Her son Ducky, he rode back and forth. I hate to tell you how many times she walked across the lawn, knocked on my window, and told me I'd overslept to get up. Honey Vienna, she was quite a lady. Taken in the kitchen of Lynn's kitchen, of course, as Christopher gets bigger and Beth gets older, and so does Lynn. And of course, that's Chris, Lynn, and Beth in Lynn's kitchen. Had a Christmas party over in the parish center. And these girls, of course the girl up in the back, I'm not sure who the one on the far left is, but of course there's Lynn. And be the girl behind her, I'm not positive of, and then comes Jessica. Paul's daughter Jessica, and then Bill's daughter Katie, and then we have Jordan. That's Jordy up there that Katie's holding. And in front of Jordy is Betty Joe. And on the far right we have Pete Moss. Oh God, no, that isn't Pete Moss, that's Dick Whitney. It's hard to tell them sometimes apart. This is the picture taken at Beth's graduation. And from the left to right is Helen, her mother Ruth Fish, Lynn, and Beth. Here is 4 generations. As you can see here, we have Helen, Ruth, Lynn, and Beth. We go with Helen, her mother, Lynn, and then Beth. The 4 generations of ladies.